Good evening, and thank you so much for joining me here tonight on WaterFireCusp Metaphysics. My name is Stephen. This is going to be a Pick a Crystal reading. How we do Pick a Crystal readings here, what I want you to do is I want you to really meditate and focus on a question that you might have about your life, okay? Really meditate on that question. Focus on that question in your mind, ask yourself that question a time or two or three until you can really focus in and hone in on how that question makes you feel inside, okay? And then what I want you to do is I want you to focus on that energy, really feel that energy that you feel when you ask that question in your mind to yourself, of yourself, okay? And then once you feel that energy, once you focus in and really feel that energy, the first crystal that really catches your eye at that point in time, out of the ones that you see here numbered on the table, 1, 2, 3, and 4, the first crystal that really catches your eye, as soon as you feel and focus in on feeling that energy from your question, that is the crystal that will hold some type of answer or guidance or guiding light for you for that question. Okay, so that's how we're going to do the Pick a Crystal reading tonight for you. Again, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate each and every single one of you here. Thank you so much for hitting the like button tonight. Thank you so much for hitting the subscribe button, especially if you're brand new to my content. To begin the Pick a Crystal reading tonight, what we're going to do is we are going to pull a card from the Moonology Oracle deck, okay? So before we get going here, Spirit, what messages do you have for us tonight as we embark on this Pick a Crystal reading? Spirit, what are the most important messages that anyone who is watching this video here tonight needs to know before we get going with the Pick a Crystal reading? What are the most important messages that you have for us tonight, Spirit? All right, look at that. New moon. A new start is coming. A new start is coming. Trying to get that focus there for you. There we go. What a nice card. Beautiful purple there. Beautiful new moon. New moon, new cycles, new beginnings, right? A new start is coming. Let's go to the guidebook here for the new moon. Bear with me for just a moment here. Sometimes this guidebook takes a little time to navigate, but I got it here. Page 24 of the guidebook. New moon, a new start is coming. There is a yes coming your way. This is one of the most auspicious cards in the deck. It's totally positive and suggests something new and exciting is developing. The situation you're asking about is blessed, and you are on target to achieve your goals. The message from the universe is that you're starting all over again in some way, be that on a new or better course, or just feeling more positive about achieving your desired outcome. If you've been feeling stagnant, this card reminds you that life goes in cycles, and you're moving into a new cycle now. This is the time to wipe the slate clean. If the situation you asked about has become toxic, either that will clear up now, or something totally new and fresh is on its way. Attune to the moon affirmation. I'll see it when I believe it. I'll see it when I believe it. I'll see it when I believe it. See how they switched those words around there? How beautiful is that? Because so many people in society say, man, I'll believe it when I see it, right? Like that element of doubt, that feeling of doubt that statement provides, right? But when you switch those two words around, the see and the believe, and you say, I'll see it when I believe it, you really understand how the universe works and how that manifestation process works. When you believe and you tune into that frequency and you emit that frequency, that is how the magic happens in your life. Additional meanings for this card from the guidebook. A new start is on its way. Additionally, you will soon start to feel more hopeful about getting what you want. Also, your belief that your dreams can manifest is working well. And finally, forget about the past, right? New cycle, new beginnings. If you live in the past, that newness, that new offering, that new beginning it can't come through for you if you're living in the past, right? So that's a very positive statement there as well. Very beautiful, powerful. The teaching for this card. The new moon marks the start of the waxing cycle and the midpoint of the dark moon. It's a dark and veiled time when the moon is invisible, and a time of rebirth. It's a time that witches do their work, making wishes and laying down intentions for the new cycle. An intensely magical time when it's easier to pierce the veil to other worlds. What a very, very positive, very awesome card here for us tonight as we start to get into the Pick a Crystal reading. So again, what I'd like for you to do here now, especially with the new moon card on the board as well for us, is I want you to now focus on your question. Focus on that question that you have. Could be anything within your life, within the confines of your life, any question at all, a single question. Really focus on that question. Meditate on that question. Clear your mind, okay? I'll give you just a few brief seconds to go ahead and do that. Now, look at the crystals on the table. Now that you've asked yourself that question, and feel that question. Feel how that question makes you feel inside. Now that you've done that, look at the crystals on the table. Which crystal on the table catches your eye immediately once you've asked yourself that question and can feel how that question makes you feel inside? Which crystal immediately catches your eye after that feeling inside of you? We're going to go ahead and get into the individual crystal selections at this point in time. All right, so if crystal number 1 was the crystal that really caught your eye when you felt the feeling that you did, when you asked that question internally and really meditated on that feeling, if crystal number 1 was the one that you immediately gravitated towards, crystal number 1 is smoky quartz. And the message attached to smoky quartz is let it go. Let it go. And I'm going to go to the guidebook here for the message from Spirit on smoky quartz. Smoky quartz, let it go. The past is the past. Kind of funny how that new moon card also spoke about do not live in the past, right? Forget the past. The past is the past. Leave it there. Rather than looking back and letting history define you, make a conscious effort to keep your eyes forward and live your fullest life today. By dwelling on what did happen or could have happened, or on the should haves or could haves, you might miss your moment and all the opportunities that the present holds for you. Every day is a fresh chance to move on and write your story the way you want it told. Instead of getting stuck on a replay of the past, take the lessons learned and use the here and now to create the next chapter for your future. And core questions for smoky quartz. What experiences from the past do you dwell on? How would you act and feel in the present without the weight of those emotions? What a powerful statement that is, right? Because so often people tend to dwell on things that happened in the past, just like the guidebook suggests, oh, well, it could have happened this way. And really, I think, and I really do believe that it should have gone this way, right? But what that does is that really generates these feelings of lack, right? That mindset of lack, right? Because now you're really just wishing that something could have gone differently. And when you have that wish, right? Oh, I wish it didn't go this way. I wish it went this way. You're operating from a mindset of lack. And when you operate from that feeling, from that state of lack, the universe will not provide you with the abundance you are hopeful for, because it recognizes you as vibrating from a place of lack. So that abundance that the universe wants to give you will never come forward, because again, you are not in sync with the vibration of abundance. Continuing here, crystal action affirmation for smoky quartz. Affirm, My power is in the present. I leave the past in the past. Very powerful. Let's say that again. My power is in the present. I leave the past in the past. Today, every time a storyline from the past comes up, recite your mantra. The mantra or crystal action affirmation for smoky quartz, for this answer to the question that you were meditating on. The affirmation for you is, my power is in the present. I leave the past in the past. So again, this is a very powerful reminder that anytime you kind of have your mind drift backwards, okay, or think about the what ifs or could haves or should haves or anything that the guidebook had suggested there in respect to those types of lack mentalities. Anytime you feel your mind kind of drifting backward into those places, into those realms of lack, of self-doubt, of living in the past, you have to really get a grasp on the present and say, nope, I'm going to be right here, right now, and I am not going to miss out on the opportunities that the universe has for me. Because the universe wants to give you opportunities. The universe wants to give you that abundance and all of the things that you ask for. But if mentally and spiritually you are not present in this moment, if mentally and spiritually you are living in the past or living again in a sense of lack, right? In that lack mentality. Oh, this could have happened. This should have happened, but it didn't, right? Now you're operating from a place that is blocking those gifts that the universe wants to give you, right? But if you live in the present, if you operate in the present, if you're grateful for the present, expressing real gratitude, and really bringing your focus on everything into the present moments that you have in your day-to-day life, that is when not only will you recognize those opportunities that the universe is giving you, but you will capitalize on them as well. You will be blessed with the gifts that the universe wants to give you, but you cannot recognize them even. You can't capitalize on them, and really you can't even recognize them when you're operating and mentally, spiritually still living in the past. So again, the smoky quartz card and the smoky quartz crystal reminds us to let things go, right? Let the past be the past and live in the present moment. That was selection number 1. We're now going to move on to selection number 2. All right, if the crystal that you chose, or if the crystal that caught your eye the most when you meditated on your question and really felt the energy inside of you after you asked yourself that question a time or two, if crystal number 2 was the one that you gravitated towards immediately upon feeling those feelings, crystal number 2 is clear quartz. And the message attached to clear quartz for us tonight is get crystal clear. Clear quartz, get crystal clear. And we're going to go to the guidebook here for the messages from Spirit on clear quartz. Clear quartz, get crystal clear. Make space in your head for clear thoughts that might lead to greater insight into your life. Everyday worries and stress can blind you to the big picture. When you're feeling confused, make sure you don't lose sight of the forest through the trees. The clarity that comes from mindfulness allows you to view your life from a higher perspective. That's a really powerful statement. I'm going to read that again for us. The clarity that comes from mindfulness allows you to view your life from a higher perspective. That's the energy of clear quartz too, right? Clear quartz is such an amplifier. It is a healing stone. It amplifies the energies of whatever stones you pair it with too. So if you place clear quartz, let's say with like a lapis lazuli, right? That lapis is a very powerful stone, a transformative stone in terms of improving your intuition, right? Clear quartz and lapis lazuli may help elevate that intuition within inside of you, right? So again, clear quartz, just a very beautiful and powerful amplifying stone. Keep focused on your goals and intentions as you continue to work toward becoming your best self. Like spiritual 2020 vision, you can see clearly where you are going and how to get there. Core questions for clear quartz. Have you been feeling lost or confused? Do you know what you want? What does being clear look or feel like to you? That's a powerful question, right? Because so often in our lives, we think that we want something. And then once we get it, we're like, well, this isn't exactly what I was thinking it would be. This isn't all that it's cracked up to be. So when we're able to, have that mindfulness and really not only understand our surroundings, but understand ourselves, right? Understand our focus, understand not what we want in this physical realm, but understand what our soul yearns for. And we begin to make moves to pursue those things. That's when we see the real changes in our lives. That's when you begin to see things with a certain level of clarity. You see the path with a certain level of clarity, the path on how to get to those things, right? Just very, very powerful here with clear quartz. I love it. Crystal action affirmation for clear quartz. Affirm, I am crystal clear. I am crystal clear. Let's say that one more time. I am crystal clear. Today, sit and meditate for 3 minutes to clear your headspace. 3 is a very powerful number, right? 3 is a number that's associated with new beginnings to a degree, right? It's the birth of something new. 3 is the birth of something new in numerology. So when you meditate for 3 minutes, you really are opening yourself up to the energy of the number 3, right? Which again is the birth of something new. So you will begin to then be able to manifest those new beginnings for yourself when you're able to meditate for that time, clear your mind, just let whatever comes to you come to you during that time and feel those feelings, right? Be present. That's what meditation is, right? The word meditate literally means to be present. So when you sit down in those feelings, in those thoughts, clear your mind of the distractions, right? When I meditate, I like to put earplugs in so nothing can distract me in the physical world, right? And I just let my mind and my soul and my inside voice, if you will, those guides, my spirit guides and angels talk to me, right? When you meditate for 3 minutes and you are free from distraction, that is when you will get the clarity that you need and want that will then pretty much illuminate your path, right? You'll have the mindfulness at that time to be able to navigate the path through those trees, right? And really find what you're looking for, find those answers, find exactly what it is that will help you to do whatever it is you need to be able to do for yourself in this time. So, what a beautiful stone, clear quartz. Absolutely love it. Just again, a very powerful amplifier and healer. Such a beautiful stone. That was stone number 2. If you had selected gemstone number 2, if you had that gravitational pull towards gemstone number 2, it was clear quartz. All right, we will now move on to stone number 3. All right, gemstone number 3. If you had gravitated towards gemstone number 3 when you were meditating on that question earlier, and you had felt that feeling or those feelings that meditating on that question provided you with emotionally, stone number 3, gemstone number 3 is carnelian. Okay, such a beautiful stone. I love carnelian. And the message in carnelian or for carnelian is feed your creativity. Feed your creativity. All right. Kind of like wands, right? Kind of like wands in the tarot. There's a certain sense of, power and fire and creativity behind this beautiful red stone, carnelian. And carnelian comes in multiple colors too. It's red. Sometimes there's orangish hues. You see the lines there in the stone on the card. Just carnelian is a really powerful stone. Carnelian. Feed your creativity. Your creative side is calling you. Rather than waiting for inspiration to strike, be your own creative muse. Choose an activity that taps into your imagination. Allow yourself to get messy and create freely, kind of like an artist, right? Like life is art. Life is, a game to a degree, right? Not saying that, we're playing for any type of prize here or anything, but, in the spiritual realm, there are certainly those types of things. But, what this is suggesting here, allow yourself to get messy and create freely. It's almost like going with the flow, right? But going with the flow to a degree where you have your own creativity in place as well, and you are mindful of your own creativity. And when you have that in the forefront of your mind, whatever life throws at you, you'll then be able to be creative with that. And that will then lead you to a place where you can create freely for yourself, right? I'm not talking about creating freely creating messes for yourself. That's not what I'm referring to here. What we're referring to here is the beauty of being able to harness the power of your creativity and letting it run free, right? Very similar to a painter, like an abstract artist, right? Just very, very powerful message here with carnelian. Silence your inner critic and let go of any expectations about what this process should look like, right? Free your mind from limiting beliefs. It's not about making a perfect masterpiece. It's about exploring your personal journey and letting your imagination run free. What a great, just awesome statement. I'll read that again. It's about exploring your personal journey and letting your imagination run free. That is exactly what the guidebook means here, what the messages mean here when it said, allow yourself to get messy and create freely, right? Messy and create freely to me mean, free from the shackles of limitation is what I just got, right? And it's so true. It's so true. When you have the ability and when you're in a state of mind to allow yourself to get messy and create freely, as the guidebook says here, that is when the best results will manifest for you, because then there's a certain harmony, right? Kind of like I said earlier, that flow. There's a certain harmony with what you're trying to create, and you and the universe around you, right? Which is funny because, like the number 3, right? You, the universe, and your creative powers, okay? So, again, just let your imagination run wild, right? Let it run free. Be free with your creativity. Whatever comes to you, find a way to artistically let it out of you, whether that's, if you like art or if you like going to the gym. Just so many different things and ways to truly be productive, to have that mental stimulation, could be physical stimulation also. Again, like if we're talking about the gym, you're creating your physical self, your physical well-being, just all kinds of stuff here in terms of allowing your imagination to run freely. Core questions for carnelian. What sparks your creative side? Is there anything holding you back from letting your creativity run wild? What do you want to create? And that's the most important question here, right? You really have to meditate on that question as well. Because again, like we said earlier, sometimes, people think they want something, and then once they get it, they realize, oh man, like I don't think I actually wanted this, right? So the whole trick with that entire process is just like this book suggests, for just like the messages here from Spirit suggest with carnelian. What do you want to create? You have to find that answer out first before you go through the creative process. Otherwise, you're not creating for anything, right? There's not going to be any release for you. There's not going to be any, conclusion, right? There's not going to be any tangible result from your creativity, right? So know what you want, identify exactly what it is that you want, not just on a physical level, but at a soul level. And when you find that, when you identify that, that's when you will be able to truly create freely without restriction or limitation. Crystal action affirmation for carnelian. Affirm, I am imaginative and create freely. I am imaginative and create freely. Say it with me. I am imaginative and create freely. Today, start one new creative project or restart one you had abandoned. Just a great message here for Carnelian. Again, feed your creativity, right? Be free, be free. When you have that inner freedom and you allow it to flow through you in creative ways, that is when the best results are yielded here. Whether, again, that be for your physical well-being or for, let's say, something to do with art, anything. When you shut that mind off from limiting beliefs and you focus in on being free, and you are free, and you embody that freeness, right? That is when your creativity will burn like a fire and just really provide you with such beautiful results. And we're going to move on to crystal number 4 now. All right, if gemstone number 4 was the stone that you gravitated towards when you were feeling what you had felt there, when you asked that question originally from the beginning here, if crystal number 4 was the one that you had gravitated towards when you felt that as a result of that question, then crystal number 4 is turquoise. I love turquoise. Turquoise is so beautiful and so powerful. Turquoise. Prioritize your health. Prioritize your health. I'm going to go to the guidebook for the messages for turquoise. Turquoise has been used throughout history. Very, very strong placements in history. If you want to research turquoise, you'd be very impressed with turquoise and what it's done and how it's been used in the past. So we'll go to the book for turquoise. Prioritize your health. Take your health into your own hands. The first step is to identify what your body needs. Everyone is unique, so your health journey requires self-reflection to discover what will make you feel best. Then take one step, no matter how small, in service of that. Maybe you commit to going to bed 15 minutes earlier, or find a yoga routine online, or perhaps you download a meditation app, go for a walk, or work out at the gym. Whatever you choose to do for yourself and your health, make it a priority and commit to it each and every day. With consistency, small actions will build into amazing results. Sometimes I have some friends who have struggled with the gym, right? I have had some friends in the past who have struggled with the gym, right? They do really well for a long time, and then for whatever reason, they fall off. And that's okay. That happens to everybody. But the expectation has to be set where if you haven't been to the gym in a long time, right? Think about the amount of time that it's gotten you to get to where you are right now physically. If you haven't been there and you're not happy with yourself physically, right? It's probably taken your body a long time to kind of revert back to the place where you don't want it to be, right? Especially if you had been going to the gym for a long time and you were feeling good and looking good and all of that stuff, right? So the expectation here, if that's the case, right? If you're jumping back into the gym for the first time in a long time, the expectation here is that you cannot expect to just snap your fingers and make it just fall off of you, right? Make the weight just fall off of you. Make the muscles just come back instantaneously, right? Think about the time that it took for your body to go backwards, essentially, right? And it's going to take a similar amount of time, potentially more, to get back on track to where you'd like to be, right? That's just how this place works. That's just how our bodies work, right? So think about those things as you're approaching whatever situation, right? Have a certain respect for yourself, the process, the time that may be necessary to achieve your goals. And if you execute that understanding with a little bit of patience, that's how you're going to see the best results. Core questions for turquoise. Do you treat your health as a priority? What aspect of your health could use a boost? Crystal action affirmation for turquoise. Affirm, my health is a priority, so I practice self-care. My health is a priority, so I practice self-care. Say it with me, please. My health is a priority, so I practice self-care. Today, do one thing to support your physical, emotional, or spiritual health. What a beautiful message there for turquoise. And just because I have to, again, this is not any type of medical advice. If you do need medical advice, please seek a doctor or a medical professional. I am not a medical professional, and this is not medical advice. I strongly recommend that if you do have a serious issue or an issue that needs to be checked out, that you certainly go seek a doctor or medical professional for care in that regard. So definitely just needed to say that too. So, but turquoise, again, I really, really recommend you research turquoise and how long it's been used for and where it's been used and by whom. Just a very, very powerful stone. It's a heart chakra stone. It's got that green hue to it, right? That bluish green hue. Blue and green are representative of the throat chakra and the heart chakra. So again, turquoise is just such a gentle stone. It's such a delicate feel. It's such a beautiful stone and a very powerful one too when it comes to you and really focusing in on what you need to do for yourself and your health. So that, my friends, is stone number 4. All right, everybody, that was tonight's Pick a Crystal reading. I really hope one of these messages resonated with you here tonight. If it did, thank you so much for hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing to my channel if you're brand new to my content. We're going to do more of these heading into the future. This was the first of many Pick a Crystal reads, and I really appreciate you being here for the first one and liking the video and subscribing to my channel. So once again, from me to you, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you very soon at the next read. Take care.